Hi everyone, this is Miamrai. Put on those gamer ears. Let's come back and look at Mortal Kombat 1. Now, I know it's been a while since we've looked at Mortal Kombat. I still do play this game, just that really haven't been streaming that much of it. But mainly, I wanted to try this new controller that we got from Mavericade. Take a look at this one. So it's got a little different layout than some other fighting sticks that we've seen out there. So essentially, it's got the R2, R1 and R2 down here near the jump button. The options buttons are here. There's just two on each side. You see that? Yeah, two on each side of there on the top. So they're out of reach. So that way you're not doing anything crazy. There's an extra jump button up here, which I personally don't use. I use the jump button that's down here. And these are 3 buttons instead of the 4 buttons that we see in a lot of leverless controllers, and then kind of one big button on the side. So yeah, I mean, conceptually, I like the layout quite a bit. And they're the shorter micro switches, so I think they're chocos or chocks, and so they got kind of a short travel. Listen to this; they're pretty quiet. And it is about the size of a snack box micro. So it's a little bit smaller than I like personally, but I'll probably get over it, I'm sure. Usually I like the mid-sized leverless controllers. I don't happen to have one on me, but the fight box is usually what I use. However, the fight box layout is the Daigo style layout, so I'm not too super fond of the Daigo style layout. But this one I think has a lot of promise. Again, with the three main action buttons instead. And then the one larger button. Yeah, see, it's nice and responsive. I do like it quite a bit. Here, we'll go and go to practice a little bit. I want to make sure that all these buttons are functioning. This one, the version I bought, uses the GP400, I think. There is also a version, which unfortunately came out later, which uses the Brook fighting board, which is fully compatible with the PlayStation 5. Kind of had I known that version was going to come out just a couple days later, I probably would have bought that one instead. But this one is fine too. We're mainly playing on PC, so I think this will work out just fine for us.
Frost, go.
But yeah, so far I like it. It's got a good feel. The bottom has some kind of felt on the bottom to help it from slipping. It's nice and thin. It's very light, so you can take it with you. Yeah, see, so the big button doesn't show up. That's hilarious. I think it's because it's R1 and I think it's R1 and R2. Or R1 and L2. I think it's how it works out. Yep, I got L1 and L2 right next to the jump button. So I think that's pretty convenient. You'll basically have to place your hands like this. Right? So you have your up, left, right. And then this will be your R1, I think, or I think this is L1. You have your jump button here, and then you can move it slightly to get to your L1, or you can use your L2 over here. You only have 3 main buttons, and then your R3 button. So personally, I like this because I think the pinky, using the pinkies for real dexterous control is, for me, it's difficult. So just having just one button there, I think is one larger button. That's the shape of a jump button. I think that's pretty convenient, personally. and it's a really good size on the options buttons. You know, the touchpad and the menu button, the start button. I think a lot of times when you get a level-less controller, they'll have these itsy bitsy tiny option buttons, which and they're usually not good tactile feeling buttons. In this case, you know, it's got like a nice little bit of travel. They're square in shape, so that if you're just doing anything by feel, you know, you just feel that they're different buttons. They're not circular buttons. I think the build quality is pretty good so far. So we'll see how it actually is when we're playing. You can see I am trying out Homelander since he's part of the new DLC. Hopefully nobody expects too much out of me. I'm not particularly good at these games. At least not for the first year or two. Year 3 is usually when I finally figure things out. And this game is not even a year old yet, which is almost hard to believe.
The Zaterrans, who now infiltrate our reality, are their timeline's apex predators. Cunning and tenacious, they conquer peoples and nations, consuming them with slithering ease. As with other timelines they have subdued, these Zaterrans have begun their assault on our timeline quietly. Their shape-shifting spies infiltrate our ranks, killing and then replacing those entrusted with this timeline's protection. We must find and finish these imposters quickly before they irrevocably diminish our defenses. If we fail, the Zaterrans will waste no time filling their starving bellies with our flesh.
Oh, but they seem so nice. Or Psy seems nice. Alright, what is this one? Shao Kahn. Oh, I should probably change my character. Well, since I'm earning points for a character I already have skins for. Okay, options of the map. Yeah, I like this controller. It's a good feeling controller. I think this is the Maverickade Keeb Brawler 4. And then there's a Keeb Brawler 4 PS. Again, that one uses the Brick fighting board chip to allow full compatibility with PlayStation 5. So if that's your thing, then they have that available as well. But since it's using the Brick board, it doesn't feature the little LCD screen that the GP 400 does. Was it 400 or 4000? Wow, it's one of those. Let's earn some points with old Homelander. I probably will never use this character, honestly. And we haven't really been playing that much, honestly.
Janet Cage.
Let's see, no starter talismans or relics. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, invasions mode is okay. I wouldn't really... I haven't really gotten everything down with Peace or Homelander. He's actually kind of a hard character to use. Yeah, I think Homelander will take longer for folks to adapt to because all of his combos are really part of his air cancels. So his regular combos are not really all that great. But everything that's more advanced has to be kind of done in the air as part of that rush cancel that he has. Okay, elemental advantage. Sure, thanks. So it does seem like this is for like the mid or pro player versus something like Peacemaker, who was kind of made for easier play. I mean, I'm still trying to get used to it, honestly.
Finish him.
Trying to get used to this layout too.
Homelander.
I said it's very intuitive, but like anything, you still have to get used to a controller with a new layout. I'm just like kind of like shifting my hands a little bit to figure out where it's comfortable to put these put my fingers. It's $1,000 for a key now? Oh my god. I know. I wish you kept your coins. It was much nicer when you could keep all your coins from season to season. With his costume.
Finish him.
I forgot I turned that on my shortcut.
Fatality. Homelander wins.
For the easy fatality. Okay, it looks like they're giving you more rewards per round. Or per round that you finish. So they've made some adjustments along the way. You know, I've been listening to the complaints about invasions because, you know, invasions I think probably is not everybody's favorite single player mode. I think it's just okay. Protect the ice while using Ice Clone. Oh, okay. What are we doing? I'm glad they put the moves on the screen, but okay, well, I see I did that completely wrong. It was nice enough to pass me, though. I guess in this case they let you use your body as a weapon.
Fight.
Oh. Had something going there. The timing is so difficult.
I am done apologizing.
I mean, the moves themselves are easy to do. They come out really quickly. But yeah, figuring out how to put them into combos with the way that he fights is definitely a challenge. I don't know, we could probably go through the combat tutorials and maybe that'll give me a better idea of how this is supposed to work out.
Fight.
Well.
Homelander wins.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of liking this controller a bit more than the fight box, and I really like the fight box. I think that's a great controller if you want to pick up a lever list, and pretty reasonably priced, unless you want the PS5 version with the Brook Fighting board. Those are always going to be a little bit more spendy. But if you're playing on PC, then you can get a controller for under $100. Do I have a disadvantage? I have a disadvantage. Okay, so then they want you to change characters. It's kind of rough changing characters all the time, though.
Peacemaker.
I don't think people, or I don't think they realize that people don't really change their character when they play Mortal Kombat. Like, most people will stick to a character and then just play that character. They won't necessarily bounce around to all the different characters. I mean, I certainly don't do that. You know, I've been a Sindel player since day one, and I really haven't explored the other characters that much. Only recently have I even started playing Shang Tsung, just because he's like so hilarious in the story mode. That's right, not playing Homelander, trying to do Homelander combos.
Peacemaker wins.
Oh, now I need a key. This is one of the only bad things about the navigation in the game is that number one, there's no map. It's like, why, after all of these seasons, is there still no map? I mean, the good thing is you can just warp to a shop, and then if you have multiple shops open, you can just keep warping. You can just keep warping to different shops by selecting the same option, which is not documented very well. It's like $1,000 for a key, or one of the currencies. You know. Oh, I forgot to change my character. Darn it.
Fight.
What is his again? There we go. I don't remember his special moves. PC combat.
Finish her. Peacemaker wins.
Oh, interesting. It just sends you right here. So, you know, a little bit of a convenience there.
Homelander. Homelander. Fight.
Yeah, it seems like the reward structure is you know, better. You gotta keep giving people stuff so that they keep playing. You know, just always locking stuff away behind like the hardest encounters, then you know, nobody's gonna keep playing. I think Invasions mode is for the casual player. I think sometimes the designers forget that. You know, don't make this mode, the single player mode, you know, so hard and frustrating that your casual players don't want to play it anymore. You know, give them a reason other than the story mode to keep playing, and they'll keep playing. Yeah.
Homelander wins.
How many coins I need? Okay. And then I think they need to add a warp back feature. So like if you want to go to the shop, you can go to the shop. But then if you want to go back to where you were, there should be an option to just return to the place that you were. Because now you've got to go through all of this stuff. And then when you're deeper into the map, you know, it may be hard to figure out where you were. And with no, like, map feature, it can become frustrating to navigate. These are just kind of real basic design
Test your might.
implements. I don't know why they refuse to.
Target acquired.
I don't know why they refuse to do it. It's like, please don't make navigating your gigantic map difficult.
Test your might.
Oh, they'll let you retry. Okay, that's new too. They used to never let you do that. It was a one-time only.
Excellent.
Yeah, so, I mean, improvements over invasion mode. But again, where's the map? Give me the map.
Fight.
I know, I just like my brain freezes. It's like I'm trying to memorize the. I'm trying to execute the buttons that I saw in the moves list. It's just like, what am I pressing? And then I just end up doing the same, three hit combo that I've been doing.
Finish her.
Because I can't pull that from my memory bank. I'll get it someday, I swear. Year 3, I'll be fine.
Homelander wins.
Yeah, I'm glad they're giving you like more stuff.
The Zaterrans have vastly improved their shape-shifting ability. They can now mimic powers as well as forms. Though an imposter, this Ermac commands souls with frightful proficiency.
I think the only bad thing is this, like this first day of season 6. If you go to the shrine, you can only get like maybe 10 things from the shrine now. Whereas you can get a significant number of items using your coins from the shrine, but this season they're like, nah. Please play invasion mode. Don't just use your coins on the shrine.
If all you've got is telekinesis,
That is just one of our powers.
Oh, look at these wacky costumes. This season's definitely very interesting.
Fight.
Yeah. It was better than all those punk rock costumes that they had for, was it last season or the season before? I swear, gotta have had a better memory. Or at least a better memory for fighting games. This would work out better. I used to, a long time ago. Back in the 3D era. But, since then my fighting game memory has decreased dramatically. It didn't help that, fighting games were just not all that popular for so many years. Everything else was taking over the people's times, and fighting games had very few releases besides independent games. But now we're in the fighting game boom. All sorts of, all the major fighting games, King of the Fighters, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, they all have new entries. And even some oddball ones like, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus has entries now, so... Oh, okay, I don't know why I needed to have a server update. I say that's the other thing I would change about this game is the dependence on the server updates. Because the servers do go down quite frequently. So now you're making it hard for your single player players to have time to play their single player game because, you know, not through any fault of their own. You know, just because on that time, at that time, on that particular day, the servers were down for whatever reason. It's a problem with the other fighting games too. It's not just a Mortal Kombat thing. You know, this over-reliance on the stat gathering and the tracking on the server side is just it's just too much. I do like playing online, so it's not like I don't like playing online, but I don't primarily like playing online, you know what I mean? Like, I like playing online on occasion, but I mostly like playing offline. You know, when I have people over, or if I'm just doing, you know, the invasion mode or training mode or whatever.
Finish him.
Still trying to learn these buttons. I'm like, where's that button? Trying to get a feel for it.
Homelander wins.
Yeah, and this is a 3D printed board, so just bear that in mind. Some people don't like the feel of the buttons on a 3D printed board, but you can swap out the buttons, so it's I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't even have any talismans. That's another thing about the talisman philosophy. We'll see what they do with season 6 here, but the talismans were always definitely a love-hate relationship. I mean, last season you got some good talismans, but then you also had like some incredibly punishing talismans in the same talisman. Ooh, there's a cyborg costume, huh? I mean, it's about time we're starting to see this on the larger characters instead of just the cameos.
Homelander wins. Flawless victory.
I'm sure they're going to offer that as a reward at some point in time. The cyborgs are so popular. Even though at the time when Mortal Kombat 3 was released, or at least people in this area thought they were a little cheesy. Not as popular at the time of release, but you know, over time, I think people have started to like that costume, like the idea of the cyber ninjas. I just thought there were too damn many of them.
Fight.
Oh, it's so hard to... It's like a theoretical combo. Kind of hard to work through it, you know?
Finish her.
That's that switch. Okay. Just gonna remember to move my thumb around a little bit more.
Homelander wins. Fight.
Yeah, I'm glad they made adjustments to the AI too, because the AI used to be only they're really, really good, or they're completely brain dead. I think here they at least have some semblance of a fight, while still not being too hard. At least in this initial mesa. again, when you're designing a game and testing a game, and you're only doing so internally, then I think you kind of forget that the average skill level of your fans is not that high, and then only at the top, 8% of the total fan base is really going to be doing the super fancy stuff. Then like maybe the 30% is doing your kind of bread and butter combos.
Excellent.
I don't know. I mean, they have stats since they have all these server-side saves. So, I'm sure my guesses are not accurate. There's probably more people that are more skilled. It's just I'm not in that group. You know what I mean?
Finish her.
I think I'm finally getting used to where a character is. I've fought enough
Homelander wins.
smokes and reptiles in my life to sort of get a feel of where they are based on how the screen scrolls. I'm already at the point where I have too many items. Are you serious? Alright, well at least they're giving more stat point items. Before they were so stingy on the stat point items that you could earn. It's like, damn, you gotta keep me playing. If you're only gonna give me a stat point, every 6 hours, I'm not going to even play to the 6 hour mark, So again, yeah, lots of improvements to Invasions mode. So if you haven't been playing Invasions and you want to earn the rewards and the costumes, they've made it faster. So I don't quite feel like I'm on the endless treadmill as I did in previous seasons.
Fight.
Now, is that gonna, make people just all of a sudden all play Invasions mode? I mean, probably not. People who love the versus mode are still going to continue to play Combat League. I think now it's a little bit more attractive, If people are gaining their rewards faster, then, they'll take a little break from Combat League. Because the progression was always too slow in Invasions. And if they're going to finally change that, what the heck is going on with this guy? I think people want this smoke again. You know what I mean? It's like old smoke and new smoke,
Homelander wins.
I don't know why I had to make that one the win pose. I say that whenever Homelander has to fight Sindel, you know, the versus screen where they taunt each other, it should just be Homelander being like, not being able to say a word, you know, since he has his mommy issues. And Sindel's the only mommy in the game. Maybe put Sindel's name on the bottle that he's drinking after he fights her. Just throwing out some ideas, you know. Don't have to use them. They're free, though. Oh, Tanya. Definitely see her a lot in the higher levels because her moveset's so fancy. She has a lot of plus frames, especially when using Goro. And you can just really annoy the hell out of your opponent with her. If they gave her a little bit more of a damage boost, I think, you know, she'd be even more popular. Though her popularity is not a problem at this point. Ah, these survives. These are like my least favorite type. Just because they're always so unreasonably difficult.
Survive.
And they always feel like luck. They don't feel like skills involved at any point, you know what I mean? See, you can't even get out of there. And I'm sure at the harder difficulties, that's like unreasonable.
Homelander wins.
What are we with items? This is... yeah, useful items. I mean, again, I'm happy that they're putting more things that people would want to drive them to play invasions mode more. It's not just the absolute slowest ticking stat crawl. It's really what it needed, you know, from the get-go, from Season 1.
Fight.
Also, let us return to Cage's mansion. Why only make that a one-time thing? Because I don't remember if I got everything in Cage's mansion.
Finish her.
It's been a long enough time, you know?
Homelander wins.
Yeah, I also put this game on the NVMe, which I think is pretty much a requirement at this point in time. If you're going to be playing a PC version, if you are not installing this on an NVMe on your system, then I really don't even think you should be playing this game on PC. I've seen a lot of people put their game install on an HDD, you know, regular spinning magnetic drive, and even at 7200 RPM, it really ruins the experience for the person on the other side. Alright, why don't we stop it there? This is Miyamorai. You've been watching... Oh, okay, I don't know why we have all this here. You've been watching Mortal Kombat 1. Again, we're running on PC, and for the most part, I think this new season is very, very promising. Homelander is a pretty good character, although he takes a while to get really good at. So I think if you're coming in to Mortal Kombat and you're just a fan of the show, you can do a couple of things with Homelander, but all the fancier things that you see like other people doing online, I think those are going to be very, very difficult. And even if you're going into the tutorial and looking at his tutorial moves, I mean, I think that's going to be very, very challenging for folks to do a lot of these things. So that's kind of a shame that he's not a little easier to play for the more advanced combos, since he's like the most casual-friendly character, guest character that they've had. But it is what it is. And as far as this controller from Mavericade, I really like it. I think it's pretty good. If you like the smaller size controllers, the micro controllers. Like I said, personally, I'm more into the mid-size controllers. But for the size that this is, it's really good. I think the button layout is really good as well. It takes a little getting used to, but I think if you're a seasoned player and you're using a lot of leverless controllers, I think you'll get used to it pretty easily. I would like more options on what buttons do what for the firmware. I'd like to be able to change all of these buttons if I could, and all of their locations. Maybe even turn off the additional up button. That's located above the down button on the controller. You can do that on the PlayStation 5 version, but for whatever reason you can't do that on the PC version. And hopefully that'll change that in the future. But I like the feel. The build quality is pretty good. It's got that clear top, so you can put some artwork on there, or have some artwork made for you to put onto the top of it. So that's always a nice little bonus. The little felt on the bottom is nice. So yeah, good feeling controller. Definitely check it out. And again, if you want the PlayStation 5 version, that's going to be compatible with your console, then it's a little bit more expensive, since the Brook controller is more expensive, but it's not unreasonable. And I think you're getting a good controller that will last you quite a while. If you want to pick that version. Again, I'm not sponsored, so I was just really buying this controller for myself, just because I wanted to try it. But yeah, if you want to try it for yourself, check it out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.